The Barber Session is here, episode 3. And today we're going to be bringing you guys somebody really special to us. The whole Headlines movement, the whole 245 movement, the whole barber movement. He's been making a name for himself. And I can't wait to hear you guys, get a little bit of insight from his point of view, from his perspectives on the industry and what's going on. And another thing, Kris, you don't know this yet, but we've been getting about 50 views a day.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable, especially being just the second episode. To have 50 views a day, it just shows that we're adding value to people's lives, especially barbers, man. So we're gonna continue to do these Barber Sessions, the podcast. 2016 is looking like a good year, especially for the whole barber movement. And Kris, you want to introduce our guest tonight?
We have a very special guest, like Bazio said. He's the creator of Florida Barbers Association. He's been in the industry how long, Kris?
I think he said 2 years.
2 years. That's crazy. Created Florida Barbers Association
already. 2 years.
Got a crazy following on IG, and has become the youngest manager in Headlines, right?
Yeah. If this was the NBA, he'd be considered a phenom.
Rookie
of the year.
If I can bottle what this guy has in reference to energy, like
I'm already working on that. I got the patent going.
You got the patent?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, man. His work ethic is dope, man. It reminds us of exactly what we want in somebody, in a leader. So
absolutely, and it's just a networking genius, bro.
Networking genius, yeah. I mean, any big name that you know of, anybody who has influenced you in any way when it comes to barbering,
knows this guy.
Yeah. So Kris LoKo, what's going on, bro?
What's up? Pleasure to be here, man. And
real quick, how can these guys reach you? How can they follow you? What mediums are you on?
My IG handle is at LoKo LoKo _blends BLENDZ, and then you could also, like they said, you can follow me on at Florida Barber Association on IG.
So real quick, Kris, before we keep going and start asking LoKo questions, real quick,
I'm not gonna stop recording anymore because I could just edit that part out.
Yeah.
But let's just figure shit out as we go.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
So, you recording now?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, real quick, before we continue, we start asking LoKo any questions or anything, Kris, I just wanted to kind of go down memory lane a little bit with me and you because, like I said, one of the youngest managers in Headlines or at Headlines. Mm-hmm. And I remember me and you having a conversation and not necessarily being concerned, but maybe a little bit, worried, tentative, I guess you could say is the word. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget that we had a barbecue at my house with all the barbers and all the family, and everybody was there. And you remember me and you had a talk with Kris. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember his comment to us was, I mean, I can't even describe it, but I knew at that moment, and I know you did too because you looked at me, that we were good. Yeah. And he looked at us and he said, listen, you guys own 2 ultra successful shops. I don't have a choice but to be successful. I cannot fail. I can't fail you. I can't fail Headlines. This guy goes harder than anybody I know. Mm-hmm. So I just had to jump in and say that, and you can continue with what you were going to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anybody would have their doubts. I mean, this is a guy he's been a barber for a year, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're just touching the waters at that point. There's a lot to learn. But for LoKo, he was, in my eyes, he was so obsessed with his craft. He was so obsessed with this barber industry. I mean, this guy was in Cali, bro. Under mentorship. He was pretty much an apprentice, you can say.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, one of the dopest barbers. I mean, I grew up watching Victor Barber. I learned a lot from him. And to see that this dude used to drive, how far were you driving, Kris?
Like an hour, 30 minutes.
Hour and 30 minutes just to go watch this guy cut hair, just to learn.
Well, reminds me a little bit of my story, like we were talking about before when I do with Jesse and stuff. And I keep saying in the first podcast and in the second podcast, I shadowed this guy, I shadowed that guy. I've shadowed a lot of people. It doesn't stop with just one. You can't just stop looking for content and looking for knowledge. You just got to keep pushing. You got to be obsessed with what you do.
Yeah.
And that's a message to a lot of you out there that are starting on the game, or maybe you're a little bit discouraged because you're not where you want to be. The harder you work and the more you want it, you will get there. You will get there.
And I mean, we had our doubts on Kris, but let's be honest. the proof was in the pudding, bro. That man, he produced results. His actions spoke louder than his words.
Bro, the minute we turned key, and I saw it was like winding up a wind-up toy. You know what I mean, Chris? Like wind it up, and we turned key, and he took off. I was like, oh.
So, Chris, I want to turn the attention to you, man. Even though the tension's been on you, but I want to ask you, man. Like, what gets you going, man? Like, what drives you?
To be honest, lately it's been you, man. To be real, there's a lot of stuff that I watch that you do, like on social media, or obviously we don't work in the same shop and whatnot, and I get a lot of motivation from you, bro. Your YouTube channel, you know, I just started my YouTube channel. You guys can look that up on YouTube, Kris LoKo.
Dope content.
Trying, and like I watch your social media every day, man, and it's like, dude, like he's going 10 times harder than me. I gotta go harder. The next day I look at my wife every day, and I'm like, I gotta go harder. And it was something that you guys brought to my attention from day one. It's like when we hire a barber, we don't just hire that barber, we hire his family as well. Damn. And it was like, man, I got Matt, I got Eddie, I got Kevin, I got Carlos, and it's like, dude, if every day I'm looking at like, yo, what promotion can I do today to make sure that those guys are fed, so to make sure their kids are fed. Like that's really how I look at it, and I really consider those guys my brother, man, and that's what I strive for every day, man. And now I'm bringing my brother into the game. That's only more fuel to my fire, man, to go harder.
I think that's big in leadership, man, and you're doing exactly what we thought you would do, man. So cool. So now that we got LoKo introduced and stuff, let's talk about what's going on, man, in the industry.
All right, real quick, not to cut you guys off. I just, I'm big on being real honest. So the thing with Vic, as far as getting mentored, it wasn't every day because I'm also in the military. For those of you that don't know me, and I worked the military Monday through Friday while I was in California, and Saturdays was my only day off. So Saturday I would leave at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and work all day with Vic.
What did that do for you, bro?
That was huge, man. With Vic, man, I learned a lot. I want to say I not only grew as a barber, but I grew as a person. I grew as a man. Just working with Vic. He wouldn't charge me rent, which was dope because I only worked one day, but he would charge me to like dinner. He'd be like, yo, just take me out, let's go to dinner and chop it up, man. He introduced me to pho and all these other great meals that I've never eaten in my life, and introduced me to the whole Cali lifestyle, which was dope. It's different on the West Coast. It really, really is, man. Like that's where I learned what I'm implementing now into headlines is what I learned on the West Coast, man. Like they are like a family. They go mountain climbing together. They go out to eat all the time. Like me and my guys plays basketball every Tuesday. Never fails. We go to the park. We eat dinner at each other's house every day, all the time. And that's something that I found on the West Coast that is different from the East Coast. And I don't know what that reason is, but that's something I'm trying to change, at home first. And I mean, Vic's a monster. I mean, you see what he could do as far as craft-wise.
Oh, he's the pioneer of the YouTube barbering, bro.
He's a beast, man. And all those designs, like, his work ethic is crazy, bro. I'm telling you, dude gets in there 5 o'clock in the morning. There'd be times where I try to beat him to the shop, and I just couldn't. Like, no matter how early I woke up, the dude was in there 4 o'clock cutting up. I'm like, dude, how? You leave at 7, 8 o'clock at night, and then go work. Like, I seen him put his product together. Shouts out to Vic, by the way. I seen him put his product together right in front of my eyes. I'm like, he'd be like, yo, smell this. How does it smell? I'm like, oh, it smells good, man. Oh, he's like, nah, it needs more. It needs this. It's missing this.
Yeah, man. Success leaves clues, bro. I say it all the time. You see, the most successful people in any industry, they don't have to be barbering. Mm-hmm. Success leaves clues, man. I see the same thing with Christian. He told his story on the first episode. This man was working freaking, 15 hours a day? More than that?
15, 16, yeah. 3 a.m. in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning. Leave, go home, take a shower, get dressed, get in the barbershop at 10, work till 8 o'clock.
It's no secret. It's no secret. The most successful people, that's what it is. So
Chris, why did you choose barbering?
This is going to be funny because I was listening to episode 2 and I heard Jesse say it and I was like, dang, he stole my response because it's the truth. But if you call my mom right now, you ask her, did he want to become a barber? My mom's been telling me to go get my barber license since I was 16 years old, bro. Mm-hmm. Since I was 16. And to be honest with you, I did not want to be a barber. I did not think barbers could make the kind of money that, I'll say it now, we make, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. or that you make, you guys make. You know what I mean? It's like I thought a barber was like he made fast money and he made $40,000 and that's all he was ever taking home, and that's if he had good clientele.
Yeah.
And looking at it now, I'm like, it's crazy, man. Like, I've got every license you could think of, man. I have personal training license. I have security license. I have, I'm in the military. I'm certified to do interrogation, so on and so forth. And it's like I said, I've been cutting since I'm 13 years old, and it's like, finally, I remember sitting in headlines, because I've been here since day one, since it opened, because Carlos used to come out here at Who's Next. And when he came to headlines, I followed him here. And I was sitting here one day unemployed. I just quit working for Progressive. I got my insurance license as well. I just sitting in here.
You sold insurance?
Yeah.
I sold insurance too.
I did all that. I did claims too, man.
You got your 440 license?
Yeah.
What?
I got all that. Homeowners insurance too, man.
Okay.
But yeah, I was sitting in headlines one day, and I was sitting here, and I was like, bro, man, you know, like, God rest his soul, my best friend just died. I was sitting here, didn't know what to do. I was like, man, I'm married. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And Carlos was like, bro, how about you cut hair? You've been cutting hair since I've been cutting hair. He goes, look how much money I make. I'll never forget. It was on back to school, and he was like, dude, or no, it was Christmas. Excuse me. He was like, dude, just go get your license. Just go get your license. And I was like, nah, man, it doesn't make the money I want. I was going to school for physical therapy at the time, and I was like, I wanted coming out of school, I want to make at least $80K and then build from there. And he was like, bro, look at this. And being Carlos, opens up his drawer, throws a bunch of money at me, and is like,
because money's never been an issue.
Because money's never been an issue.
That's that dude's slogan.
Carlos, you can follow him at Carlos Real G.
He'll be on the show soon.
One of the funniest human beings I've ever met.
On the
ever.
planet, son.
And he's also my business partner for Florida Barber Association. And, you know, he looked at me and was like, bro, just go get your barber license. And sure enough, a week and a half later, I was in school, started my barber license, and that's history.
Real quick, I don't mean to cut you off. I just don't want you to get too far ahead. I want to ask you, for somebody who's going through the same thing, who's getting their insurance license, who's getting their real estate license, who's getting all these licenses, accreditations, what do you say to that guy who has barbering in their back pocket, but at this, they've been doing it for a year and it just really hasn't happened for them? What do you say to that guy who's, always double thinking if barbering's for them?
That's a tough one, but it's crazy because I kind of feel like that's my brother right now, and I'll use him as an example. My brother's biggest concern right now is just making money, and even though he likes where barbering could take him, he's like, his passion is MMA. Like, he likes to fight. He did it for a while, and he's gone back and forth, different jobs, bouncing around and everything like that. And I would say to that person, man, give barbering a chance. It's a beautiful industry, man. The fact that, and I don't want to say you have your own boss or you're your own boss, but you are, there are rules for the shop and everything like that, but give barbering a chance. You can create your own career path with it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna give everything else a chance, like, that's what I looked at it as. For me, at least, I was like, all right, I gave security a chance. I gave this a chance. Oh, why not? I might as well try out barbering, and I grew to love it. And even if you don't grow that passion to love it, it can be a very useful stepping stool in your career. At least I think so. It gives you the freedom, all while providing for your family. And like I said, it's a beautiful industry.
Also opens doors for you.
Not just the freedom, man. Just the people you come in contact with. Like,
it opens doors.
I mean, there are so many different people, like we talked about in last week's episode, from different walks of life that you come in contact with, and different connections. And like we said in the beginning, you're a networking genius. I mean, you can literally network with so many people. It's a platform.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's literally a platform.
The moral of the story is that this is a career just like anything else, right? If you don't give it your all, if you don't give real estate your all, if you don't give insurance your all, you're not going to see the results that you want. And it's not barbering's fault why you're you're overthinking things. It's your fault, Give it your all. Commit to it. And it'll consume you. And it can do wonders for you. Did it for me. Did it for Christian. It's doing it for Kris LoKo. So.
Is that not crazy? We're all Chris's.
We're all Chris's. Kris.
Kris cubed. Patented.
Which, by the way, too, I don't know if you want to announce it on the podcast or not, but not only is Kris the youngest manager within Headlines, but pretty soon he's going to be the youngest owner, right?
Yeah.
Amen.
See, we believe that hard work pays off. and we don't want to be hypocrites about that. Kris LoKo, hard work pays off, bro.
It does. And again, man, thank you guys for believing in me, for giving me the chance, bro. And the day Danny gave me that call and was like, "Hey, I just got off the phone with the other two Chris's, man. I just want to welcome you to the owner's table." I was at the movie theater, bro. I about dropped. I looked at my wife. I was like, "Yes, sign me up."
Yo, and this is kind of like a message to other barbershop owners. You build your business by building people. You can't grow unless you build people. If it's all about you, it's always going to be about you.
What was it you said last week? The week before about you? Wasn't it something like, instead of creating or taking a bigger piece of the pie for you, just create a bigger pie?
Yeah.
Just make a bigger pie.
Just make a bigger pie. And I think that's one of the biggest issues in this industry, within this industry. We don't think about big pies. We think about owning all of one shop.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, congrats to that.
Appreciate it.
Yo, I just got back from Bronner.
How
was
it?
that?
Bronner was okay, man. I remember Bronner being the Mecca. You know, like I hooped my whole life, right? I played basketball my whole life. And New York was the Mecca of basketball, right? I go to New York every year, like around February. This year I went around, when did I go?
December.
I went in December this year.
You ever been to Rucker?
Never been to Rucker.
What?
But that's one part,
I
right?
never go to Rucker.
What I'm saying is the majority of the parks, they weren't doing it for me, right? Then I think about the NBA. Who was the best basketball player to come out of New York right now? Melo. After that, who is it?
Patrick Ewing?
No, that's in the NBA.
Who was?
That's
Currently
currently
I'm
playing.
going to say no, past. Not currently.
Porzingis?
Porzingis ain't from New York.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I
That's my
can't.
point. My point is, it's not the Mecca no more. Bronner brother, I'm going to get a lot of hate, a lot of slack for this. It's not the Mecca no more, man.
So the
what do you
Orlando
think
Premier is better?
Orlando Premier is crazy. Like, when I went to Orlando Premier, you know when you walk into a place and it delivers so much more than you expected? And you have that moment? That's how I felt when I went to Orlando Premier. As a matter of fact, I've been there twice, and it's exceeded my expectations both times. It's no plug-in. We got no affiliation to these guys.
No.
But this year, I usually go Sunday, Monday. This year, I'm going Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm getting a hotel right next to the venue, and I'm going to be there.
Well, isn't that what you were saying? Under promise, over deliver?
Of
Is
course.
that kind of what they do?
That's what they do. With the Bronner, it's not the Bronner's fault, obviously. They're the Mecca. They're the first guys to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all people used to ever talk about. And it under-delivered for me. But that's not to say I won't be back.
Do you think that shows growth in our community, though?
What do you mean?
Like, other people took what they did and made their venues better and
Oh, of
Absolutely.
course. Of course.
Most definitely.
They evolved.
Yeah.
I think part of it, Chris, and Danny sent me a video. I don't know if he sent it to you or not in my inbox, and I watched it. And the basis of the story was, don't lose your edge. I don't know.
I watched it.
You watched it. Was that
Yeah.
not dope, bro?
That was fire.
Absolutely.
I think Bronner suffers from that. You make it, you make it to the pinnacle. You make it, and it was a reminder, kind of. That's why he sent it to us. A reminder for all of us.
Was that the
You
shoe
get
one?
3 shops, and it's like, you get complacent.
Yeah.
You start, fulfilling an image as opposed to continuing to grind or
Yeah.
continuing to do what got you there. And that goes not just for owners. That goes for barbers. It happened to me. It happened to you as a barber, not as an owner.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to a certain point, you're like, man, I'm making X, Y, Z a week. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I don't have to go out and get more customers. I don't have to, be there early. I can leave at 2 o'clock if I want to. You see that all the time. Barbers with bad habits.
Yeah.
You got to continue to grind. You got to continue to go.
Complacency
every day.
kills.
It does.
Complacency kills.
Yeah, because, most people, their pinnacle is whatever the bar is at in their world, right? All of a sudden, you go to Cali and you see somebody like Vic Namone, that's the bar. You know what I mean? Like, LoKo, you got that work ethic because from the beginning, the bar was set with Vic Namone. You come to Florida and you're like,
What are these guys doing?
yeah,
The bar's low.
the bar, yo,
Low.
you see what I'm saying? And you know that's in every city and every barbershop in every state. The bar can always be set high.
Mhm.
There's always somebody that's
Florida, Jesse
doing
Lima.
amazing. Yeah, doing amazing things. Like when I made that video, how much do barbers make?
Mhm.
I mentioned there was people that are making $1,000 a day. We know those guys. But people are commenting like, "There's no way. How? What? Dude, in your world, it's not realistic. But in my world, it is. We see it. I mean, if you tell yourself it's impossible, of course it's impossible.
You'll never get it.
You already set the standard for yourself.
I mean, a lot of you know that I work at UPS.
Yeah.
I've mentioned that in the past before. So I've cut my days down at the shop. And you know that I've stepped back, Bazio, and LoKo knows that I've stepped back as well, trying to focus more on family and some other stuff that I have going on. So I'm not in the barbershop enough, as much as I used to be. But when I cut my days down to three days a week, I was still bringing home $1,400 a week.
Yeah.
And you got barbers here that are working 5 days a week and making less.
Yeah.
And it's not because of a lack of clientele. It's a lack of work ethic.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get lunch for an hour.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to leave early. Or I have an appointment in 20 minutes.
And now that you say that, that brings up a real good point that Danny Amarim, Success Addict,
Amorian.
however you say it, Success Addict, as everybody knows him, Hulk. Man, this dude said something in the first class I ever went to. He was like, the shop ain't slow. You slow. Go out there and go get more money. And then it brings me back to something Basio said. Cut more hair. That's it. Go out and go get it. It's not going to come to you. This is an industry that you have to be a go-getter.
Bro, we talked about it early, about being behind on appointments and stuff like that. I usually don't fall behind. Bazio doesn't either. Sometimes it happens. It is what it is.
No, I fall behind a lot.
You fall behind a lot?
Yeah.
All the time.
I mean,
But I communicate with my clients.
Communication's key.
I communicate.
communication is
I
key.
make sure they know that their time is appreciated. And falling behind on me is 10 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
I literally text my clients if I'm running 10 minutes behind.
I started doing that.
I
by
text
the
them,
way.
yo, I'm running 10 minutes behind. My apologies. I do that.
They appreciate
Well, my lane, as we say, or my expertise, as LoKo knows and Bazio knows me for a long time. And the Barber Session, March 13th, come check it out.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to be here.
it. Be ready.
My lane is speed techniques, and Bazio knows. I don't sleep. I literally do not stop between clients, between appointments. It doesn't matter. I don't fall behind the way some other barbers fall behind.
This is true.
And-
What you did one
And
time.
I provide a quality. You know, Chris. I provide
Yeah.
quality. I'm not saying you gotta sacrifice quality for speed. No, I by all means, what I preach to all the barbers that come in here in the beginning is quality over quantity.
Speed will
The
come.
speed will come.
Absolutely.
To get to where you are or Bazio's at or I'm at, it takes time. But I've developed some techniques over the years. I've been doing this a long time, where I can sneak people in. And really, to be honest with you, and LoKo knows, it's at our first location. It's insane. It's out of necessity. It's not because I'm trying to make more money. It's literally out of necessity. You got 11 barbers at our first location. 11 barbers, all cutting hair. The majority booked for the day, and then there's 20 people waiting. So literally, out of necessity, I've taken my speed to another level because you don't want people walking out. That's the last thing you want as an owner, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you bust your ass to get more people in the door. The last thing you want, it hurts my heart when I see a walk
Spend a
out.
lot of money, too, trying to get people in the doors.
Oh my god!
No, it's crazy, man. I was thinking my first week, and you're like, "LoKo, I need you to block a few hours of your schedule."
You looked at me sideways. You're like, wait,
Why?
what?
Why would I block my schedule, bro? I'm trying to make as much money as possible. Because we need somebody to take the walk-ins. Because everybody's booked, and you're the new guy on the block, so we need you to block some hours. But I'm booked too. No. I need you to block some hours, bro. It's crazy, like, to think that 11 barbers in the chairs nonstop, man. I ain't gonna lie, I miss it. Cause my shop's getting up there. We're a brand new shop, 6 months, not even 5 months open. We're getting there, but
I'll be honest
it's
with you,
nuts.
though. It's not just in a busy shop that it happens. It could be, I've said this on my Snapchat before. I never understood when a barber is slow all day and he says it's slow, bro, can I leave early? What?
Why?
That makes no sense.
You know what my answer to that is? You'll be slow tomorrow, then the next day, the next day.
Dude,
Go ahead and leave.
I'm not gonna say no, don't go home. But if you looking at me, you asking me, why I'm always booked. There's your answer right there. Do the opposite of what you're doing right now. At 6:30, if you're leaving early, if you're leaving at 6:30 and the doors close at 7, you missed your opportunity for walking to come in those half hours. A client that you could lock in, and this could be a potential great client. There's clients that I've locked in at 6:45, at 7, at 7:30. They pay $40 for a cut. It's worth it to me.
Absolutely. Bro, I got a 9:30 appointment tomorrow. PM.
Listen, guys. If you're not completely booked a week in advance, you got no room. You got no wiggle room to be leaving early, to be taking shortcuts, to be saying no to clients. Take them. When your pipeline is full and you can't handle any more clients, now you got some options. You got some leverage. You got some
You can mold
freedom.
your schedule.
You got some freedoms. I mean, Kris was working 3 days a week. He was booked. But it didn't come overnight. He worked towards it. In 3 days, he was making what most barbers making 5. Today, I work 4 days. I make a lot of bread in those 4 days. Bust my ass. I come in and I work 12, 13, 14 hours. But I make a lot of money in those 4 days. But it starts from somewhere. It don't just happen overnight. If you're not willing to stay late, come in early, if you're not willing to take in clients when it's not convenient for you, it ain't gonna happen.
And let me ask you a question. On those 4 days that you're working 13, 14-hour shifts, how long's your break, your lunch break?
I don't take any lunch breaks.
No lunch break?
None.
So what do you do to eat?
If I get done early, if a client says go ahead and eat, I won't ask them if I could go get something to eat. They'd be like, yo, Kris, bro, I got clients that be like, yo, if you want, take a 10-minute break, bro. They know. My clients know. I don't take no breaks. All my clients know I don't take no breaks.
See, and a barber we should be having on here pretty soon. We shouted him out earlier. Carlos.
Yeah.
You know, like I said earlier, he's one of the funniest human beings I've ever met. And he clowns around and he jokes around. But the kid's work ethic is ridiculous, Kris. I mean, you remember when you worked here? He literally does not stop. He doesn't stop. I mean, 5 days a week. There is no lunch break.
He reminds me of Kevin Hart.
No, for real. He
Funny as hell, but the hardest working man in the game. Mm-hmm. And listen, guys, people, they listen to what I say, where I don't take no breaks, and they be like, "Oh, forget that. I gotta eat. You crazy? You're gonna kill yourself, dude. I eat. Of course, I eat, but I don't close any slots on my schedule for a lunch break. It's ridiculous. Okay, if a client's running late, hey, I got 5-10 minutes to go eat what I need to eat in the back.
And it's one thing when you're clocking in and clocking out for the man, but when you're working, in a sense, like LoKo said earlier, for yourself, when you're working with a shop, there's rules. It's not like you're, renegade, do whatever you want, but you're working technically for yourself. Yeah. You can limit your income. Mm-hmm. You're gonna take off for an hour.
Well, let's do the math, okay? For me, I usually get anywhere from $25 to $30 every single cut, right? Sometimes more. If I do that if I close a spot for a lunch break, 4 days a week, that's $120 a week.
No, plus what you're spending on lunch.
Plus what I'm spending on lunch. Wow.
That's rent.
That's
rent.
over $500 a month.
That's your chair rent.
That's my car note.
It's not worth it to me. I like it. I'd rather take a 5-minute break when it occurs than take a freaking half hour, 1 hour break. That's ridiculous, bro.
Eat a big
not
breakfast.
only that, but if you're not booked, you got no business doing that.
Absolutely not.
If you are not completely booked to the point where you got people like right now, I'm getting text messages talking about, Kris, did you block your week? No, I'm booked up. But you know what? I can get you at 8 o'clock. It's gonna be a little bit more. All right. You know what I'm saying? That's where you need to be at. And even then, you shouldn't be taking no breaks.
That's where Carlos is at. Kids coming in on Sundays now. You knew that?
Yeah.
You knew that? You didn't know that?
I know that.
I started doing that because
he's coming in on Sundays now. Charging more.
Fire.
We tell all our barbers that, by the way. Yeah. Bazio knows that. We tell all our barbers that. Some owners trip. Oh, my electricity. Bow. Yeah. Nah, you have a key. Once I give you a key, as long as you're conducting business within here, whatever, man. You want to stay here till 2 a.m.? Make your money.
We want you to eat.
Make your money, bro. I want you to.
We want to be able to talk about you like we talk about Carlos.
Absolutely.
Feel me?
And just so y'all know, he does charge $40 a cut.
Oof.
A cut.
Let's
Kids,
get it.
Adults.
On Sundays.
On Sundays.
But hold on, because
But people are afraid to charge, though.
No, but here's the thing. People are gonna say right away. They heard that, they say, "Oh, but you guys, you guys are in a high-end area, or you guys are in this." There's all kinds of excuses as to why you can't do it. And I used to be that guy, bro. Not even a year and a half ago, I was that guy that was like, "I don't know if we could do that. It just doesn't make any sense." Blah blah blah. And then every single day, I'm seeing, examples. I'm seeing people who are doing it in the hood, in nice neighborhoods. It doesn't matter. The price is the price. It's a haircut. A good quality haircut is a good quality haircut. Doesn't matter what demographics you're at. There's people that can afford Gucci belts. There's people who can afford, whatever it is.
And I'll say this, because I used to work sales as well. The number one thing they tell about sales is that 90% of people that work in sales are scared to ask for the sale.
Yeah.
So if you know the service you're giving, if you're coming in on your day off, then you should charge $10, $15 more than what you're normally charging.
Exactly.
$20 more than what you're charging.
It's your day off, guys. The worst thing that could happen is you don't come in on your day off.
On Valentine's Day, I charge $40 a cut.
Of course.
And I'm in a whole nother county, a whole nother city from this headlines. And I had like 7 clients.
Let me ask you guys a question. I was having a discussion about this online, and I love discussions. I love conversations. Some people will call them arguments. Some people will see that as in a negative light, but I think that's important for you to grow as a person, to get in as many arguments as possible.
Mm-hmm.
To get in as many arguments as possible so you can grow as a person, and you learn something from every argument. It might get heated at times, and don't let it be that, because an argument does not mean it's negative. It doesn't. People look up the definition of argument, right? It's a conversation at the end of the day. So let me ask you guys a question. What is the difference between a barbershop and a salon and their price points? And I'm talking specifically on men's haircuts.
The razor.
What else?
Quality of haircuts.
I don't want to say quality of haircuts, because they do some things that better than we do.
Presentation.
We fade better.
They style better.
They style better. They understand the way that hair works better, textures, and they understand the shape of heads and how they can form a haircut to match that shape of head. It gets deep. It's scientific. I respect that shit. That,
No,
100%.
Absolutely, but when I say the quality of haircuts,
You mean like fades and stuff?
yeah. So
razor work.
Our fades are gonna look better. And
I just want to
Their
put
styles
together. I want to put together both, like the two. But it can't be done if we're charging what we're charging now.
No.
So what's the difference? Why does a salon, like the average salon, they charge $35 for a cut in Florida? Over here in Tampa, Tampa's not Beverly Hills by any means.
I think Matt. Shout out to my boy Gifted Hands 0419. You can follow him on IG. But I think his girl's charging $30 right down the road
For men's cut, right?
for a men's
Something
cut.
that we do.
Right down the road, like literally movie go.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Presentation.
Presentation, I like that.
Presentation.
Simple. Presentation. That's why our slogan is the professional twist of the modern barbershop. You can walk into any of our locations and it's professional. Presentation. I'm not saying you got to wear a 3-piece suit to work.
But I do.
LoKo does. LoKo wears his vest to sleep. But man, just the little things count.
Bro, it goes so simple as when somebody walks through the door, I don't care if it's your client or not,
Greet him.
greet them.
Yo, you just hit a nerve right
Oh
now.
my God.
You hit a nerve right now, Bazio.
Bro, greet
You
them.
hit a nerve and you didn't even know that you hit a nerve.
Before I was a barber, I was just a client. I used to walk out of a barber shop. If I walked through the doors and all I got was eyeballs on me and that's it, I walk out.
I'm out.
Bro, you hit a nerve. I've had barbers that I've worked with, one not being you, obviously, that literally get intimidated because I greet everyone that walks through the door, whether they're putting money in my pocket or not. I greet everyone that walks through the door.
Should.
It's just the natural thing to do. And not just greet, but on the way out. Hey, man, thanks for stopping by. Have a good day. At the end of the day, that makes such a difference. It makes such a big difference in the client's experience.
That's where I was going to cut you off at, because I think barbers don't understand that they are not the sole experience that their client is experiencing, right? They don't set the ambiance. The shop does, right? So what if you're on lunch? What if you stepped out for a second? Your client calls. Mm-hmm. Somebody picks up the phone and gets somebody who just says hello.
Yo, what's up?
Barbershop. That's it. It's like those are the things that they affect the entire service.
Influence.
And that's why prices go down, because it's like, did I just call your cell phone?
Exactly.
Or did I call a business?
What happens when you go into a salon? Yo, I challenge anybody who's listening here. Even if you're gonna go get zeked because it's not the type of haircut that you want, if you go get a ball fade or whatever, they're gonna struggle with it. But if you get a dope textured styled haircut, you're gonna get blessed. But if you go over there, just go over there, go to a high end salon, any salon. It don't even have to be high end. That is the standard in a salon. It's the standard. Go into a salon and see what you experience.
Coming to a headlines.
You're gonna get greeted. We put our best greeters in the front.
Point guards.
Absolutely.
I call them my point guards.
And listen,
they set the tone.
In the beginning, I remember before I became an owner, I stayed away from the front. I was a cool guy in the back of the bus, right? You build your clients by being in the front of the house. Absolutely. People see your face every day, whether it's your client or not, whether it's a walk-in or not. They're going to remember your face because you're the first face that steps into a shop.
It's not just building the clientele, though, Bazio. It's setting the tone in the shop, though.
I'm talking about not from our owners, from a leader's perspective. I'm talking about from somebody who is self-centered, who's just thinking about themselves because they're just a barber in someone else's shop. I'm talking about as a barber.
See, and my issue was, and I learned this from Jesus, VIP Barbershop. You remember Jesus? Mm. Everybody knows Jesus in Tampa.
Yeah, he's a supply guy.
One of the biggest supply guys. And he came to visit us at the shop, remember? We opened up the first one.
Yeah.
And he's like, Christian, you're sitting in the wrong chair.
Mm. I don't remember. You never told me this.
Yeah, man. Remember I used to sit in the back, right across
No,
from
but you never told me the story.
Yeah, no. He pulled me aside and he's like, listen, if I can tell you anything, because he knew me from my insurance days before I even picked up a pair of clippers.
Yeah.
He said, listen, I'm proud, man. You're doing awesome. This is phenomenal. Great
spot. I don't mean to cut you up. Jesus, if you're listening, we want you on the show.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. But after he came to visit, and, he said, great. You're going to do phenomenal out here. But you're sitting in the wrong chair. I was sitting all the way in the back. My problem was never a lack of wanting to greet people. If you know me or if anybody knows me, I don't have a problem with talking to people. I love talking to people. I that's what I live for. I don't have an issue talking to people. I just want to sit in the back. I wanted to be near the big screen. I want to have the AC.
It's kind of like sitting on a school bus. You want to sit in the back seat.
I want to sit in the back.
Cool kids sit.
And he said, bro, you got to move to the front. You set the tone. When I moved to the front, that was an eye-opening experience.
Everything changed.
Because it was different. It was just different, man. From the greeting to handling the walk-ins, the list, it just changed. That's why I want my best people up front now in the shops that I'm not there, because they literally set the tone, like Bazio just said, in the entire experience. All right, Kris LoKo, that is, since there's three, Kris is here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's lighten this up a little bit. You want to lighten up a little bit?
Okay.
What's your favorite cut to do, LoKo?
Oh, man, I knew this was coming. Dang.
So if you knew it was coming, you should be prepared.
Oh, man. Dang.
We got to get, since y'all know out there in podcast land that we test a adult beverage every week, we got to cut off Bazio because I think he's had one too many apples.
I think he just dropped his beer, but I'm not going to say nothing.
Smirnoff. This is Smirnoff. If you want to put that out there in the light.
Oh, Kris did
Kris
it.
Perez brought
Red's Apple Ale.
Red's
Apple Ale.
The words. I can literally play back the voicemail. The words from Bazio were, get something that we've never drank before.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to bring freaking
I just want to do this.
A wine cooler.
I want to do this in the Kris Perez voice. An exceptionally crisp Apple Ale. Reds.
Bro, this
was not a Kris Perez voice. Plus you didn't drink. You didn't lick your lips.
How much apple juice can you possibly drink?
Pause. I don't know, but I'm chugging these.
Yeah, because it's apple juice.
An exceptional.
What were you saying? My favorite haircut, though, right? I don't know. For a while, man, I got hooked on the whole man bun undercut thing, man. It was crispy, man. And something that Drew the barber, shouts out to him on IG.
Beast on the
Yo, can I
undercut.
say something about Drew real
undercut.
quick?
Go ahead, hit him.
The whole idea of bringing styling factor to precision fades, Drew was doing it.
Drew is doing it. He's a beast. Drew is a beast when it comes to this undercut thing and style. And to be honest with you, I just really got on this whole level of, I want to use my blow dryer.
Yo, what can you follow Drew at, by the way?
Hey, Drew the barber. That's on IG.
That's how you spell Drew the barber.
Yeah.
THE is true.
I want to say it's DA, but let's double check. It's DA.
All right, so Drew the barber.
Drew DA Barber. Yes, you can follow my IG. But honestly, he got onto the whole little undercut thing, and that's what he's gonna be educating on soon at the exotics battle, from what I hear. Shouts out to him. And lately, that's been my favorite. I love styling now, man. I busted out the blow dryer, and that's where I'm at right now for my favorite haircut, man. I love styling. So
The problem is that one thing I've seen within headlines is that's an extra charge.
Absolutely. So this is a conversation I had with Matt the other day, and he pulled me aside. He was like, "LoKo, your styling is getting pretty serious, man. You're busting that blow dryer out almost on every client."
Okay.
And Matt was like, "You need to start charging for that styling." And I was like, "You know what? You're right. Shoot, your wife does it at a salon. Why can't I do it at this barber
Yeah,
shop?"
as long as it's communicated. It's 18 for the cut. If you want me to style it and blow dry it, it's more.
It's extra.
But
All right, so your favorite cut is the undercut.
Undercut, yeah. Undercut, man bun, whatever.
So your favorite cut is the undercut.
Lately. And then other than that, obviously I've been jumping into the whole design game and everything and trying to do
I noticed that you've been putting out some heat.
Trying. I got something coming out tonight too. And jumping into the whole little graph edge pencils like Jesse Lima.
Yo, LoKo, so what's the future on your YouTube channel?
The future on my YouTube channel is so like I've told you before, I feel like a lot of barbers, there's a lot of really good barbers in the game, man. And they just, I don't know if it's because they're shy or what, or they're just not big into social media, but their story goes untold, I guess you could say. Like, nobody knows who they are. Like, for example, I'll give Carlos. Real G is an amazing barber. Like, honestly, I come in and watch this guy cut, and I'm just like, dang, bro, you're killing him.
You know what I want to do tonight with this podcast? I want whoever's listening to force
Carlos to come on this.
Carlos to come on this show to put out more work, because we've seen a lot of dope barbers. We know a lot of dope barbers.
Hit him up on Instagram.
Carlos is a real G.
Carlos Real G.
Real G.
DM this dude.
Make him come on the barber session.
Tell him we want some content. Tell him.
Matter of fact, we should put him on your YouTube channel.
Of course,
Dude,
We should put him on your YouTube channel.
that's what's gonna happen.
He don't want to do it though. He thinks you can do a close
It
up of
doesn't
his
matter.
face.
I'm gonna show up. Does he work Mondays?
yes.
He works Mondays.
He's
Okay.
only off on Sundays.
I'm coming in on a Monday, surprising him. I want you guys to DM the hell out of him
Please.
and say
Blow him
Carlos
up.
Real. What is his IG? Carlos Real G.
Carlos Real G.
That's it. Carlos Real G.
Spelled
D-
properly.
Yeah, spelled properly. DM him and say, or just comment on any of his pictures. Say, we want to see you on Chris's YouTube channel
And on the barber session. We want
and on the barber session. All that. We want content.
He's a beast. He's a phenomenal barber, man. And it's like his story would go untold because the dude never posts on IG, or he never gets on YouTube, or he never gets on the barber session. And because of that, the way my YouTube channel is going is I'm going to go out and I'm going to film his story. I'm going to pull him aside and we're going to have a private interview. And then I'm going to show you that the kid got bars. I'm going to show you that he can cut. My first episode, stay tuned for it. It will be Adrian Lima. And then after that, I got Drew the Barber. And then after that, I got Basio Cuts. The lineup is crazy. I got Christian Perez. Headlines are bust. For sure. It's coming. Speed fade coming. Story getting told.
I thought you forgot about me.
Nah, bro. I just can't give out all my nuggets, man. There gotta be some surprises to the game. But the YouTube channel's coming. I'm coming for Basio. Work ethic.
Ooh, wow. Shots fired.
I'm coming for Basio. But I gotta provide content. And that content is gonna come through the game.
I like that.
All right?
That's what's up, man. Yo, so we're coming to a close on the show, but before we do, I gotta mention Steph Curry with the pot.
Whew.
I was just about to tell you that, man. Why you gotta steal my intro?
I had to. Yo, Steph Curry.
Why you gotta take my intro?
I'm gonna say some crazy stuff right now.
I'm gonna say something before
I'm
you
that
say it.
guy.
Before you say it.
What are you
No,
gonna
I'm
say?
that guy.
Here go the
What
Reds.
is-
Let me because this
What
was
do
my
you-
subject.
The Reds
I
are
told you I was gonna bring
All
it
right,
up.
you the sports guy. Listen, I think this is important. The whole sports
guy.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
it
whole
is.
sports thing is important because, like, 80% of the stuff we talk about in the shop
It's sports.
is sports. So let's talk about it. Let's
I
talk
mean-
about it.
LoKo, look at me. I need eye contact from everybody in the room right now,
I'm looking at you.
cause I know LoKo is so hard to say goodbye.
Oh my God, here we go.
Oh, Kobe.
Kobe's gone.
Hold on, I'm gonna say one thing. Did you see D'Angelo Russell last night? 39 points.
Stop it.
39
Stop it,
points.
Stop it.
Eight
Stop it.
three-pointers.
Stop it. We're
Eight
talking about-
three-pointers.
Stop
Oh,
it.
God.
Stop
Come
it.
on.
D'Angelo
Here we
Russell is a
go.
disappointment.
We're talking about.
averaged 27 points
Listen.
per
He's
game.
a disappointment.
Let's
bro.
not get
He's
off-
averaging like
let's
Since the All-Star
He's
game.
averaging like 13 points a game and like
27
three
since
assists
the
a game.
All-Star game.
He's supposed to be the
this
best
is the
passer.
barbershop. Oh my
Yo,
God. This
do
is
you-
what happens at the
hold on, real
barbershop.
quick. Do you remember, real quick? They did a sports science of how good he passes the ball. Do you remember
Exactly.
that?
Yeah,
D'Angelo
yes,
Russell.
I do.
He's averaging 3 assists a game, bro.
3.
Yes.
3.
Bro, it's
Three
his
assists
first
a game?
year.
Whiteside
It's
gets
his
3 assists a
first
game.
year.
Bro,
It's his first year.
Whiteside gets 3
Whiteside,
assists
he's a
a game.
center, ain't he?
He's a
Dude,
center,
it's
bro.
his first year.
Bro,
He's playing amongst one
Anthony
of the
Davis
greatest
is getting more,
basketball
One of the
more assists
greatest?
than that.
One of the Kobe
Come
Bryant.
on, man.
He's
Kobe
playing-
Bro,
should be.
he's
He
washed
should be
up.
collecting Social Security, bro.
I
Get
say
out of
he's
my face.
playing.
He's my favorite
amongst
player.
One
He's
of
my
the
favorite
greatest.
player.
Nah, D-Wade's my favorite player, bro. By
Kobe
far.
Bryant was my favorite player, but he's not that guy no more.
No, he's
He's
not.
not.
He's
D'Angelo
not, and
Russell,
that's why he's retiring.
He has a team where it's his.
Yo, I'm about to
All
flip the
eyes
table.
on D'Angelo Russell. All eyes
No,
on D'Angelo
in
Russell.
fairness, though,
The man's
Bazio,
the man's averaging 12 or 13 a game and
Nah.
3 assists a game. It's fucking terrible.
Nah, I'm gonna cut
It's
you
horrible.
off.
Have
I'm
you
cutting
watched
off.
since the All-Star
I'm cutting you
game?
off, Bazio. Even though I'm not in agreement with this guy, LoKo over here, because he's blinded by Laker love.
I'm not.
I'm not in agreement with you, man, because right now everybody who knows anything about basketball knows that it's the Kobe Bryant farewell tour.
Yeah, it is.
So nobody can capture any attention in LA because it's all about Kobe.
Byron Scott sat him for no reason.
My guy, how many minutes a game is Kobe playing? You don't know.
Agreed. But yo, dude.
So,
it's his farewell.
Even
tour.
though it's a farewell tour for Kobe, the minutes are there.
It's varying, bro. He gets a lot of minutes.
He's
he
a
doesn't
starting
get minutes.
point guard as a rookie. He's a number 2 pick
In the draft.
in the draft. They had a sports science of how good he can pass with
3
either
assists.
arm.
3 assists.
Yeah, ridiculous. 3 assists a game, bro.
Bazio, I think you might be able to get on the court with your bum hamstring and get 3 assists.
Bro,
a
I
game.
can get 3 assists.
27.7 points.
That's one time.
Since the All-Star.
Listen.
No, since the All-Star. Last
Who
night he dropped
cares?
39,
That
bro.
was 2 weeks ago.
What rookies dropped 39?
That was 2 weeks ago.
What rookie has dropped 39?
Really?
What rookie dropped 39?
Philly's
Lately,
rookie.
lately.
Porzingis.
Philly's rookie. He
Porzingis.
didn't
Okafor?
like in the first month.
Porzingis.
How many he dropped? Was it 39?
I don't know, but fucking
Nah,
He's
he
the
dropped
rookie of the
points,
year.
but it wasn't
Jaleel,
39.
he is not
No.
the rookie of the year. Bro.
Carl
You
Anthony
crazy?
Towns is the rookie of
Carl
the year.
Anthony Towns is
Without
not
a
even
doubt.
close.
Porzingis is
Not
a
even
close second.
The guy's averaging a double and like 3 or 4
All right,
blocks a
listen,
game.
Hey, shouts out to Porzingis,
hey,
though.
I'm
I mean, he
cutting
did his
both of
thing.
y'all off. Both of y'all be quiet. Shut up.
Bro, Steph Curry
Listen,
with the rock.
Yo,
listen,
you can't sell me
listen,
on
listen.
Barber
This is
Session.
what we wanted to bring up. This was the subject for the night. And
Steph
we,
Curry.
We went way off
Way
left
off.
here with
Yes.
this whole
That's barbershop
D'Angelo bum bustle.
Bro,
Is it bustle?
right now,
He's a
he's
bum.
disappointing. I'm not saying he's a bum. He has a lot of
For the
upside.
number 2 pick in the draft, he's a bum.
Bro,
the subject is,
he has
has
upside.
Steph Curry taken over the NBA? Is Steph
Steph
Curry the
Curry.
new face? Is Steph Curry the best player? Has LeBron been replaced?
Absolutely.
Steph Curry is the best player in the NBA.
This is coming from you, Bazio?
No,
the one that said that
Steph Curry is the
one,
best player
the
on
one
the
that
planet.
says the one that says that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan?
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
I hope
I never
you
said
never
that.
said that.
He
bro.
never said that.
I hope you
never said that.
He did say.
I said-
I'm gonna bring Louis on this podcast. I'm gonna find Louis
You
somewhere
think
at
back
the
then,
face shop
6
wherever he's
years
at.
ago, I said LeBron was the best player?
You said he's the best player in the world.
He is.
Ferdy heard it.
You as a basketball
He's
player.
been the
Abby
best
heard it.
player. LeBron has been the best player in the world for the
You said-
past
Since Kobe
7
Bryant
And
fell
you
off.
said
Yes.
he's better than MJ.
Since Kobe Bryant fell
I
off.
say he has the potential to be better than MJ, and that his skill set is better than MJ's.
Yeah, well,
he
not-
can do more.
MJ never
Then
got.
MJ
I
could.
will say he
Hey.
had the potential.
That's what I'm
to be
saying.
I'll
The
say this.
athleticism. He
I'll
could
say
rebound
this.
better. He could pass
I'll
better.
say this right now,
I
Bazio.
mean, the dude was
LoKo.
averaging 30 points a game at the time.
Hey, LoKo. In MJ's reign, was he ever replaced? Because Curry done replaced LeBron.
Okay, but what I'm saying at that time, LeBron had the potential to be better. You gotta remember, this is the guy who was the MVP of the league like 3 years in a row, brought his team to the championship 3 years in a row, was averaging almost a triple double. The dude was like
he was
a
beast.
monster.
He was a beast.
Are the Warriors the best team you've ever seen?
The Warriors are the best team.
I've seen.
Are
him.
they the best team
I don't
you've ever
know.
seen?
They're not.
No.
They're not.
They're
Ever
pretty
seen?
beastie, bro.
No. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter if the Warriors finish with the best record ever. The Bulls were still a better team.
Dude, they went and didn't lose.
My point.
The Warriors got
This is
two
my
starting
point.
teams, man, on the
But
bench.
but this is my point. I think that they were a better overall team. The Bulls were. They had a better bench, in my opinion, and they had a better starting lineup. They had better big men. You got to remember,
And they played in a time where it was rough.
and
boy.
it wasn't the same style of basketball.
Okay, is Steph Curry the best shooter you've ever seen in your life?
He's the best shooter ever.
Yes.
Easy.
Ever.
It's
Ever.
not even an
Ever.
argument.
Ever.
No one should even have an argument to that.
Ever. But if I will say this, if you put Steph Curry back in Michael Jordan's day,
Steph Curry would still get.
He was still.
He would
still
get
the best.
buckets.
He's
No,
still
he would
buckets.
get. No, he would demolish everyone.
He would.
Let me tell you why. And this is the argument I had.
I
he'd
have
be
to agree.
dead.
Bro,
No, he
what?
wouldn't.
Stop it. Listen to me. I played basketball, bro.
Was Iverson dead?
Listen, I played basketball. Listen to this. Iverson is like half of what Steph Curry is.
Agreed.
Okay.
No, not in the subject of size though. That's what I mean. And he didn't die.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about.
Banged up.
This is my point. The fact that he can shoot so well makes his handles so much better,
I wasn't asking you that.
and those handles are saucy. Bro.
I wasn't asking you that.
They are.
Better,
So saucy.
better handles
Than Kyrie Irving.
than Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
Steph Curry, Kyrie
And
Irving.
this,
I agree.
this one I'm gonna tell you.
I
This one I'm
do.
gonna tell you. People get blinded by style.
Mm-hmm.
It looks better when Kyrie dribbles.
The swag.
He got more swag.
Yeah.
But Steph Curry it's way more effective.
It's faster.
And
by
it
far.
could be because he can shoot so well. People have to pay attention to that. But you gotta remember, Kyrie Irving won a 3-point contest as well.
Mhm.
Yeah,
He
they both
hit
shoot.
10, 11 threes in a game before. He can shoot too. The point is that when he makes a move, he creates a lot of damn space for himself.
Who?
Steph Curry.
Curry.
Okay.
When you see Kyrie bust a move, it looks very pretty,
Wh-
very
what-
saucy.
Because he's
but,
right on top of you.
But his defender's right on his hip the whole time.
What I need to know, and I don't know if you can find some way, Bozzy, if we can contact the IRS to find out if Steph Curry,
Yo, chill. I ain't found my taxes yet.
if Steph Curry claimed Chris Paul on his taxes because what he did to him last year.
Yeah, and
I mean,
he's
he sunned him.
He's
like
been the
3
best
times.
defensive point. Chris Paul's been the best defensive point guard the last like 4 or 5 seasons.
What he did to Chris Paul was criminal.
Yeah,
It was criminal.
just demolished the dude. But the point
Happens
is,
in
the man
basketball.
can shoot from half court. The man can shoot from anywhere. He can shoot off one leg. He can shoot fadeaways. He can shoot. He doesn't have to have space. He doesn't have to have a certain form. He doesn't have to nothing.
Bro,
Like,
the other
there's
day,
no stopping it.
The other day I was on vacation. I watched it from my hotel room. He shot from almost half court, bro.
Dude, that was a dope
Against the
finisher.
Thunder. That was ridiculous.
And
OT?
because he's such a good shooter, people are blinded by that. They don't see that he can drive. He can get to the rack.
That floater he has.
That floater is stupid.
So how you feel about his defense?
What about his defense? He's one of the best. He's one of the best defensive point guards in the league, bro.
Well, because everybody says he lacks defense. I'm just
On
saying.
ball defense. There's a difference.
Mhm.
Off the ball, he gets a lot of picks, bro. He gets a lot of steals that way.
He
He's
does.
averaging like 2 steals a game.
So
On the ball, it's a little iffy, but his team is so good, it doesn't matter.
Are they repeating?
Yeah, they're repeating. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Your boy, who's the other shooter?
So the Spurs are an issue.
Who's the shooting guard on the team again?
Your boy Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson. He's one of the. He's probably the best defensive shooting guard in the league.
Mhm.
Okay. Then you have Draymond Green, probably the best
Beast.
defensive power forward in the league. But they got a great defensive team. Iguodala's a great defensive player.
So they're getting past the Spurs.
They're getting past the Spurs. This is the Spurs' first year together.
So I don't like riding with the obvious pick. So I'm riding with the Spurs, and that's
But
hard
they're
for me
not
to
the
say,
obvious pick. They've always been the
People
underdog.
keep saying the Spurs are going to come out of the West.
But listen,
well, that's my
they've
pick.
always been the underdogs. As a matter of fact, I distinctly remember this year when people were talking about the Western Conference Finals. Not one person mentioned the Golden
Warriors.
State Warriors.
Well, they're stupid because
No,
they're number one.
I'm
in
talking
the
about
entire
ESPN.
league.
No, I'm talking about ESPN. Preseason, no one mentioned them.
Well, he said,
Everybody saw what's.
That's what he means. He said, yeah, they're
Yeah.
stupid.
Stupid.
What was going on with San Antonio was like, oh, San Antonio's gonna make it. right? Oh, OKC's healthy.
They got
'cause
David
Aldridge-
West. They got West and Aldridge.
OKC is healthy. They're gonna kill it. Oh, Houston just picked up.
No, that just means that the
Who
West
did-
is dominant.
Who did Houston pick up? That was like an all-star point guard last year. The point guard for Denver, the short guy.
I can't remember his name.
The short guy. No, I gotta look it up. Look it up real quick. We gotta have the facts.
Ty Lawson.
Ty Lawson was the man was a beast.
He was.
Houston made it to the Western Conference Finals, and then they pick up Ty Lawson. Yo, I thought they were gonna. Like Golden
That's
State was
Dwight
out of the
Howard for
picture.
you. I'm a Lakers fan, so.
And then the
that's
Clippers
Dwight
did
Howard.
all those moves that they made. They picked up Paul Pierce. They picked up all these guys. Like,
They just got Green. They just keep adding to
yeah,
the team.
they got Green. Like, dude,
Since we're talking about who's going to come out of the West,
it's going to State, bro.
some people may look at me a little crazy. Basio used to be a
Miami.
fan. Miami's coming out of the
Don't
East. Bro.
hold on. You said Boston used to be a fan.
I mean, I don't know because LeBron left. I don't know. You still on
Yo,
board?
don't be
a
ridiculous.
lot of people jumped off.
Bro, Miami's my team.
Hey, did you see
Laker
Joe
Nation.
Johnson?
We picked up Joe Johnson.
How many points did he have the other night? 29?
We picked up Joe Johnson, and that's what we needed.
That was
We
a
gotta
good
have Bosh
pickup.
need
Nah,
healthy.
that was a
We need Bosh
smart
healthy,
pickup.
though.
No, we needed. Listen,
That was a smart
our biggest
pickup.
problem has been putting points on the board.
Yeah.
For some reason, we just don't put
We can
points on
defend.
the board. We can defend, but we don't put points on the board. Joe Johnson is exactly what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Dang is great defensively. He can score, right?
Whiteside is great defensively, rebounding.
D Wade too. We got good defense team. Even Bosh, bro. People hate
I
on
don't know
Bosh.
why.
That man's a good defensive player. Now we have a beast of an offensive player. Points are gonna get on the board. We got a great all-around team.
So, but I want to ask you a question, Basio.
But you think you're coming out the East?
We're coming out the
We're
East.
coming out the East, man. Chill. Cleveland's not deep enough.
That's the Barber Session, episode number 3. We had Kris LoKo on the show.
Appreciate
Probably
it,
have him
y'all.
on for some more shows. But thank you guys so much for listening. It's insane the feedback we've been getting from you guys. We really appreciate it. We'll have another phenomenal guest on our show next week. Signing out from the Headline Studios.
The Barber Session.